Hello, and good morning. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video and Blind Woman reviews. I hope you guys are having a great day so far, great morning, and yeah, I hope you guys are having a great day in general. So we're back to Sarah J. Maas. We're back to Throne of Glass World today, and I am reviewing Crown of Midnight. Let's just begin. A line that should never be crossed is about to be breached. It puts this entire castle in jeopardy and the life of your friend. That is, by the way, that whole thing is written in quotes. From the throne of glass rules a king with a fist of iron and a soul as black as pitch. Assassin Selena Sardathian won a brutal contest to become his champion. Yet Selena is far from loyal to the crown. She hides her secret vigilantly. Vigilantly. She knows that the man she serves is bent on evil. Keeping up the deadly charade becomes increasingly difficult when Selena realizes she is not the only one seeking justice. As she tries to untangle the mysteries buried deep within the glass castle, her closest relationships suffer. It seems no one is above questioning her allegiances. Not the Crown Prince Dorian, not Kale, the captain of the guard, not even her best friend Nehemia, a foreign princess with a rebel heart. Then one terrible night, the secrets they have all been keeping lead to an unspeakable tragedy. As Selena's world shatters, she will be forced to give up the very thing most precious to her and decide once and for all where her true loyalties lie and whom she is ultimately willing to fight for. So yeah, I will let you know if I'm going to go into spoilers, but there might be some spoilers. Definitely some spoilers on Throne of Glass in order to explain Crown of Midnight. So you are warned if you have not read Throne of Glass, there will be spoilers here on Throne of Glass because I want to explain some parts of Throne of Glass by the time as I am reviewing Crown of Midnight. So, Nehemia, again, if you remember Nehemia, she is introduced in Throne of Glass. Also, if you have not watched any Throne of Glass reviews that any of the Sarah J. Maas content I put out in the last 2 days, I will be linking that below. I'll be linking the Throne of Glass playlist because so far it's just Throne of Glass that I'm doing. So I will link that below for you guys and make sure you watch those reviews and read books. So you do remember Nehemia, I hope. She is from Throne of Glass, like I said. And she's introduced. Her character arc has quite the ending here. But I will say that first, the description is great. It describes Crown of Midnight perfectly. And again, Sarah J. Maas, great writing style. And like in Throne of Glass, we are following 3 point of views, and those are Selena's, Dorian's, and Kale's. I didn't mention the point of view stuff in the last review, but it is third person. So most of the thing we follow though is Selena's point of view, but we do follow their point of views as well, and it does become interesting. So yeah. Anyway, so Crown of Midnight is interesting because it takes place after the competition. So Selena does win the competition at quite the price because she, in Throne of Glass, she was asked by Elena, a previous queen of Otterland and really the first princess of Terrasen, to find the evil in the palace. Now Elena is dead, but she can cross the worlds. There's like a lot of worlds, it seems, in Throne of Glass, and there is the world of the dead, and there is a world of where she can kind of cross in a specific day, and she did. She crossed through time and stayed with Selena. She even saved her life at the end of Throne of Glass because she was about to be killed by Cain. Um, so yeah, that was something. And now she is the king's assassin. However, and by the way, Crown of Midnight spoilers here. They will begin here. However, she as an assassin is hiding something, and that is that she is not following, and she's not killing the people that she is meant to kill. Instead, she is helping them and making sure that they get out alive. So and basically faking their deaths in order to not to really kill these people. So she never killed anyone that she was sent to kill, and she is basically just trying to hide that from him. However, in the last book, in Throne of Glass, she was threatened that if she questioned the king, the people that would suffer would be her closest relationships, which would be Kale. He saw her very close to him, so Kale would suffer. Then it would be Nehemia, and then after that, it would be Nehemia's family in Eoway. So although she's playing this charade, she knows that she's in danger as well as her friends if she is discovered. So a lot of what she does is really to keep people alive, which in the end causes a rift between her and Dorian, who broke up. They broke up like at the end of the book, because at the end of Crown of Midnight, in order to because she's the king's assassin and she felt it was inappropriate. So there was a breakup between them. And now it causes a rift between them, and she's kind of keeping away from him as much as possible, I get, to keep things appropriate. But she does start some relationship with Kale, and they get closer and they start a relationship, especially after she's asked to kill someone she knows named Archer, who is apparently someone from the rebels. And she does try to investigate and does plan to fake his death and everything. However, her relationship with Kale does take a toll when the tragedy that the description mentions, and that is Nehemia's death. Can we just take a moment? Yeah, that was one of the saddest deaths. I need to take a moment of silence right there. That was one of the saddest deaths I've ever read, especially knowing the end of the books, and especially knowing the ending of Empire of Storms. I was sad. And this is one of the interesting things. I'm going to make a connection to the Assassin's Blade here, even though technically you really don't need to read it for Crown of Midnight. So when Nehemia's body is discovered, when she finds her friend and her guards are pretty much dead, and she even realizes who killed her and everything, she goes into a rage and into grief, and she at first she was about to kill Dorian, but because she was mad. But then when she finds out that Kale knew about the fact that there was an anonymous threat on Nehemia's life, she is very close to killing him, and she even scratched him on like a side of his cheek and left scars, and told him that he would always be her enemy because he kept that information from her when she could have been keeping an eye on her. And it also gets worse because the day before or hours before, or sometime before in general, I don't remember the timeline, sometime before Nehemia died, they had an argument where the princess asked Selena to help her free her kingdom and to promise her that they'll do that. And Selena refused and told her that it would be impossible. Like, that she didn't want to do that, and she's mainly fighting for her freedom. She felt like they wouldn't stand a chance. And this caused a rift between them, and bad things were said, and a lot of things were said between them, like Nehemia calling Selena a coward, and Selena telling her that when her people die, do not come crying to her, and things that weren't really meant to be said, but were said nonetheless. And because of that, she felt even worse. She felt guilt and everything. And by the end, she ends up taking revenge and killing the Grave, who was actually a contestant in Throne of Glass, and the last, and yeah, in Throne of Glass, and she ends up killing him and did a lot of things. But one of the things I want to make to the Assassin's Blade is that she did the same thing when Sam died, and Sam was someone she was in a relationship with in the Assassin's Blade, and she did the same thing. And she calls this the killing calm, when she just goes into a rage, because that's what Arabin called it, the killing calm, when you go into a rage and you just don't care, and she ends up killing them. It's like there's nothing human in her face. Apparently, it was described that there was nothing human in her face as she tore apart. She did it. She went into the killing calm twice. Once when Kale was captured by the rebel group, and two when Nehemia was dead and she saw that. And then after she got her revenge, she started kind of dealing with her grief just a little bit, and ended up, swearing an oath to her friend that she would see Eowyn freed, and that, and things like that. It was a very harsh thing to say. And hey guys, fun fact about me. The first year I read Throne of Glass or so, I think it was the year after, the year before. I actually want to do this again, but I went on Redbubble. Now, Redbubble is if you don't know, it's basically like a website where you can buy a bunch of merchandise for different things, and but they're made by independent artists. So if you search on Redbubble, you're basically supporting independent artists. And I bought a water bottle that was basically inspired by Nehemia. The title of the bottle, literally in the description, it says Princess of Eowyn. And I was like, I bought it because she made such an impact on me, especially knowing at the end how it all happened, and that basically she manipulated Archer and the rebels into sending them to kill her in order to get Selena to do what her and even Elena eventually needed her to do. So she basically orchestrated her own death. And I'm like, how do you orchestrate your own death? That is hard. I don't see that happening. How do you do that? I don't know. I don't understand how that happens. How do you orchestrate that? How did she just willingly orchestrate her own death? And I was just like, okay. Like, okay, I was sad, but okay. And then by the end, you kind of find this out, and she again takes revenge because she finds out that Archer was the one that killed her, and she very, very efficiently kills him. And she's like, and he made the mistake. Archer made the mistake at the end of the book saying that she's a good woman, and she's like, she's like, no, I'm not, and stabs him, and she's like, but Nehemia was. And I was like, oh my god. And then by the end of it, what was very interesting by the end of the book is that Kale, in order to protect her, sends her to Wenlin, because basically there was an event where she tried to open a portal to say I'm sorry to Nehemia, and it went wrong, very much wrong, and she ended up accidentally doing it wrong and opened a different portal, and she had to close it and everything. But he ended up discovering that she was Fae, and hold on a second. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to get something. I'm sorry, not get something. I had to my dad was telling me something. Anyway, so basically, they did discover he discovered she was Fae, and he decided to protect her because he really loved her at the time, even though they're no longer in a relationship, and stuff like that. Honestly, even when reading Throne of Glass, I still think Kale needs some serious work, and in Throne of Glass, I definitely thought he was an asshole, and in this book, he's kind of okay, I guess. Yeah, just fine. So he ends up deciding to put a plan devise a plan to supposedly conquer the Wenlin royal family, and the kingdom of Wenlin, and get rid of their royal family and stuff like that. And so the king approves of it and sends his assassin to Wenlin, and basically falling into Kael's plan. And she explains everything that so far she has discovered in the last two books about the word keys, and how they work, and how the king kind of has one, and now, and stuff like that. And that she's basically planning to investigate all that stuff, right? And she leaves, and she also tells him kind of who they are. I'm sorry, who she is. But he doesn't realize who she is until he looks at the genealogy records, and he sees an old poem telling him about the eyes of Terracin's house, specifically the royal family. They have basically I think turquoise eyes ringed with gold, and basically when he reads that poem, he realizes that Selena is actually Aelin Ashriver Galathinius, and he didn't realize who she was, and that's when she realized she could technically pose a threat to the king and the empire he's so loyal to, even though they do so many wrong things. And it's kind of how it ends. Those are my thoughts on Crown of Midnight. I did go spoilers because I needed to go into spoilers in order to review this book, honestly. Again, great characters, great story, and I love it. I loved everything. The next video will be on Heir of Fire. So, and I will definitely be reviewing Heir of Fire next, and so stay tuned for that. I'm super excited to review this. I'm super excited to be reviewing anything Sarah J. Maas right now. Heir of Fire will be the last review for the week, because if I am calculating this correctly, it is Friday, but because this is the third video I've recorded in this one session. So if I'm calculating everything correctly, it is Friday next tomorrow. So for in the time of recording this. So sorry guys, I'm sort of recording this a week in advance, and I just have to kind of keep track as best as I can of the days, and I don't always do so. Maybe I really should just put in I should have like a planned thing where I just have like this day in a file, and I just don't do it. That just says so much. Anyway, let me know in the comments your thoughts, and I will see you tomorrow with another video on the Throne of Glass series. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're interested in more content, and I will see you tomorrow. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and happy reading.